Okay, we're on part 2 of the video. So, what's hitchhiking like?
It's pretty fun. It's a little nerve-wracking, a tiny bit, but I haven't waited more than an hour for a ride. The most I waited a full day technically, because I was in, I think it was Plainfield, Indiana, and I was trying to hitch out. I didn't get a ride, and so I set up camp right next to the interstate in these woods. Went through a torrential downpour, like my tent almost got ripped out of the ground. Thunder was shaking my tent, and I was like scared for my life. I was like, oh man, because I've got, my A-frame tent has 2 metal poles that stick up out the side. I was a little worried about that, but you know, I'm still here, I'm still alive, I still got my tent.
Cops ever talk to you on the road? About hitchhiking?
No, actually, I've been able to, because like the law in most states is that you can't stand on the roadway, which means the paved portion of the road. If you stand in the grass or the gravel on the shoulder, you can't get in trouble at all, because that's not in the roadway, and all cops know that. I know because I've been passed by cops multiple times. They'll stop, they'll slow down and look at me, but they'll see that I'm standing in the gravel, and I know that stops them from stopping me.
In the gravel alongside the interstate?
Yeah, like
or highway?
On an on-ramp, I'll stand to, like, instead of the paved side of the road, I'll stand in the gravel, grass, or the mud area, whatever.
Oh, okay.
Sit against a guardrail.
Well, that's a pretty good tip.
yeah, that's the way I learned on HitchWiki. That's the way to get around getting in trouble for hitchhiking, is not standing in the roadway, because that can be considered obstructing traffic.
So how do you make some money on the road?
Well, I've been really lucky with people just giving me money. Like, I was in Kentucky, and I was sitting in a Wendy's, and a woman walked up and said, "Are you traveling?" And I was like, "Yeah," and she gave me 20 bucks.
Oh, wow.
And
20 bucks goes a long way on the road.
Oh, yeah. Especially with me. A lot of other people would blow through it like that, but I know people that have made 100 bucks and they'll blow through it in a day. If I made 100 bucks, it'd probably last me a couple days.
Do you carry a sign?
Yeah, I fly signs. I always end up ditching them, you know, especially if I'm hitching somewhere. Once I get the ride to the destination, I end up throwing it away.
What, is it legal to carry a sign? Some places not, I think.
Oh yeah, I mean, it depends on the city. Some cities have laws against panhandling, but a lot of the times there's ways to get around that, such as not asking for help, need, want, or anything like that. If you just, like, you can fly, like here in Rapid City, you can fly a sign that says, "Love is all you need."
Oh,
and
okay.
It's totally legal because it's not asking for anything. It's not.
Did you try that yet?
No, I haven't yet. I plan on it. I plan on flying a sign that says "All you need is love" and seeing how well that works.
I saw a guy in Vegas that had a sign that says, it said, "Honestly, I need beer," and people are giving him all kinds of money.
Yeah, Vegas, I hear, is like Vegas and New Orleans. If you go there and fly a sign, anything about alcohol, they'll give you money for alcohol.
Is that right?
Like, you can't, in New Orleans, I hear it's harder to get water than it is to get alcohol. Everyone will walk up to you and hand you money for beer or hand you beer, but getting money for food or water, they'll yell at you and tell you to get money for beer.
So now tell me about you went to Rainbow, right?
Yeah.
What was that like?
It was beautiful. The first week I was there, it was the last week of what they call seed camp, where they set everything up. The first night I was there.
Seed camp?
Yeah, it's called seed camp. I guess they call it that because, you know, it's the seed of the gathering.
Okay.
But the first night I was there, and this is now in the news because she finally got arrested and everything. This woman, her road name's Hitler. She was honking her horn one night for like an hour or two, and then everyone went up to try to stop her, and she stabbed 2 people.
Oh, wow.
And hit a couple people with a tire iron because they broke into her car to get her to stop. And yeah, I was 100 feet away from it when it happened, and that was my first gathering, my first experience with that. And I was like, really? It's gonna be like this? It's gonna be aggro? Mm-hmm. And then after that, it was like there was a lot of aggression. A lot of people were hateful. I got cussed out a few times. I got called an oogle, a cop, a narc, and then main week happened when it gets the biggest, and it was a lot of love. I met a lot of wonderful, amazing people, and I just had a wonderful time, and ate some of the best food in the world. Like, I've never been a fan of vegan food, but this stuff was really good.
Huh. Okay, we're at 5 minutes, so I'm gonna turn it on and off again.